Buddy Riley here for another episode of Fish Keeping Jamaica. Welcome to my channel. Today I talk about 5 simple ways that you the fish keeper that is, might be the cause of your fish becoming fish water or aquarium becoming contaminated. Stay tuned as I list all 5 ways. Okay, so you have what you call a fish net, right? And the fish net is used to actually take fish from one aquarium to the next, or probably you're doing something with the fish, you need to take out the fish to do something and place the fish in, right? And then you go around to your other system, and this video is primarily for those persons who have multi aquariums, right? Multi tanks, right? Several different tanks. Now I have several ponds, and at times I have to actually be going around and managing situation in different ponds, right? Okay, so using the mesh, using the net in your ponds, different ponds. I have 28 systems. You must be mindful that your nets can actually transfer parasite, disease, insect that might be harmful to your fish. So therefore, you have to be very cognizant of that. As best as possible, have a timely period in which you actually sterilize your nets, and if possible, have several nets, place them in water with a little medication there, or should I say with a little disinfectant, with a little disinfectant such as vinegar in the water, so as to keep your nets actually sterile and clean. Another way in which you, well, it's not really your fault, but it does happen, is the fact that you have insects around your aquarium or your ponds, and sometimes gardeners, even within your house, might end up spray plants for insects, and these insects are on it, and these insects are sprayed, and they come by your pond or your aquarium, and they are in the water, and the fish, fish as it is, they will actually grasp at anything that is moving, that it can fit in its mouth, actually consume the insect that has been sprayed, and the fish become what I call poisoned or become sick. Another issue is that the insect might not even be sprayed, but what happened is that, like bees, the bees love flowers, right? What might happen is that the bees might just pitch on a flower that a horticulturist or a person who deal with flowers, right, actually have just sprayed to keep the plants looking fresh, looking at new, spray the plants for several different reasons, and the bees go there and actually consume the nectar from the flower, and then come by the pond or the aquarium, actually consuming some water, and this contaminant actually transfer from the plant to the water, and the fish become sick, and it can lead to the fish death. Okay, another reason why, another way in which your fish can become contaminated as a result of, and that can occur as a result of you not having a lid or a cover on your aquarium. So in part, yes, it is practically your fault. Alright, another way in which you can actually end up infecting one system by, from another system, you're actually transferring fish from one section of your fish, your aquarium. Another way in which you can actually facilitate the spread of disease or infection within your aquarium space or pond space is the process of transferring fish. Now I have 28 systems, and sometimes I might be transferring baby fish or fries from one container to the next depending on the size, and then now they will go into the big container whenever they get certain size. Now what I have to ensure that the fish are kept healthy, right, by periodically placing garlic in the water and coarse salt or salt, aquarium salt as you know it, right, keeping the fish immune system up to its best. So as a result of me transferring one fish from one system to the next, what might end up happening is that the fish might end up be transferring disease from one pond to the next, from one aquarium to the next. As a result, you will end up in problem later on. Another way in which fish disease infections can be transferred from one system to the next, the mixing of plants. Now, I love to do this. Sometimes I might come out and I might have, for example, I might have plants in one pond, right? I might have plants in one pond that is actually dying, and I might actually do a little maintenance there, throwing away the dead plants, and the plants with a lot of the pond with a lot of plants. The pond with a lot of plants, what I would do, I would actually break off some of those plants and actually place it in a container without plants. As a result of that, I may also be transferring infectious disease, parasite from one pond to the next, from one aquarium to the next. So we have to be mindful of that when we are actually, looking at our systems. In conjunction with the fact with the insects transferring disease from one pond to the next, it goes on to the next to the next factor, right? Some toads. I discovered that they lived in my filter basket for one of my ponds, my goldfish pond in particular. Now let's say that my goldfish pond have some disease in it, right? The pond have disease or infectious parasite, and the toads actually go into that pond and stay in that pond for a good while. The disease or the parasite may lock on to the toads, and as the toad actually travel from one pond to the next, what will happen is that the disease might end up be spreading from one pond system to the next. Whilst you might not have this experience because you have aquariums, but you might have other situations. For example, lizards might be moving from one aquarium to the next. You might have roaches, you might have different things, right? And what happens is that the roach or the lizard might not have any infectious disease, might not be consume anything that was sprayed, but moving from one system to the next, what it does, it actually acts like a magnet to the infectious disease or the parasite, and actually taking that infectious disease or parasite from one system to the next. And as the creature, the insect, whatever it be, move from one system to the next, the insect or the disease or the parasite might just go into your system, causing a problem in the later on. Another factor encouraging fish disease and parasite being transferred from one system to the next is the fact that you have a centralized filtration system. Now let's say that you have 78 tanks, 100 tanks, 150 tanks, right? Aquariums, right? And these aquariums are on one main filtration system. Yeah, big, nice, pretty filtration system. What will happen is that whenever the filtration system mechanism is in play, what will happen is that the disease, the infection, if not treated, right, it can go through the filtration system, can survive in the filtration system, and actually be returned to several other systems that were at first not affected, right? These are some factors that we as fish keepers need to bear in mind, right? That us within our simple-mindedness, we might not think about these, but it do occur. So therefore, being mindful of this, we can be better prepared for any eventuality. This is Riley here for another episode of Fish Keeping Jamaica. Thank you very much for stopping by. Have an awesome day. The place is windy. I hope that you are hearing me very well. Bye bye for now. Catch you next time. Cool.